We have to do this. A bit of a hill.
His mother said, if you're coming to school, you got to bring your sister because they have to go and work in the fields. So this kid carries his 1-year-old sister everywhere. A lot of those kids don't eat in the morning. A lot of those kids, the only place they do eat is at that school.
I thought going up that mountain, Mary's meals can reach everywhere that there's a hungry child.
Do you see what happens after a simple meal? It just came to life.
Love reaches everywhere.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walking clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express Walk-In Clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcast. When the Homestead Girls Golf Team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Keep it 100. Keep it 100. Thank you.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the third game of our, four-game broadcast here on Summit City Sports. I say 4 games because that's how many we've got on Summit City Sports for you. I was at Carroll earlier this afternoon, and now here we are today at Snider as the Snider Panthers get set to take on the Warsaw Tigers. I'm Thad Goff bringing you the broadcast, and this Snider team, they're coming off a 5-win season from a year ago under then-head coach Greg Addison. They made a coaching change, the Panthers did, in the offseason. Akilah Sims became the head coach in the offseason, and so far so good for the Panthers. They won their first 3 games, beating Huntington North, Bishop Dwenger, and Heritage. The game against Heritage, at least, was not close. 58-32 was the final there, and a 14-point win on the road against Bishop Dwenger, a well-coached Bishop Dwenger team. Steve Wiktorowski, very experienced head coach, has coached at Wawasee, Prairie Heights, and also coached at the college level at Goshen. Now, Akilah Sims, speaking of the college level, she's coached at the college level, served as an assistant coach at Purdue-Fort Wayne the last couple of years before taking over here at Snider. And there are, of course, some new pieces to this Snider basketball team, and some of those new pieces are filling in quite well. Destiny Jackson, now she's averaged over 11 points per game each of her last 2 years at Northrop. Not quite in double digits yet, however, she was able to reach double figures in the game against Huntington North. That was the opener. That was her highest scoring game of the season thus far. Check that. She actually scored, I believe it was 21 points in the game. No, she scored a total of 21 points for the whole season. I almost said she scored 21 against Heritage. No, she scored 8 points that day. Pretty good start for Destiny Jackson. She transferred in from Northrop, and in her last 2 years at Northrop, she averaged over 11 points per game. Now, Destiny Craig, a freshman at starting small forward, she is averaging 15.3 points per game. She is the Panthers' leading scorer at this point of the season. Heck of a start to the season for Destiny Craig. She had a 20-point performance against Bishop Dwenger, an 18-point performance against Heritage. Great start to this season for the freshman. Now, Jordan Poole, she is very familiar to Snider basketball. She comes into this, she's actually a freshman, I beg your pardon, but she comes into this season off to a great start. I beg your pardon there, but yeah, she is a freshman. 17 points against Huntington North, 15 against Dwenger, 11 against Heritage. 14.3 points per game is what she's been able to put up. I believe I saw her in some of the AAU games that went on in the offseason. So a good start to the season for Jordan Poole, and a good start to the season for the Snider Panthers. They are young, but they started off the season on quite the high note. And they'll take on the Warsaw Tigers. We'll talk a little bit more about them after this quick break. You're watching high school basketball here on SummitCitySports.com.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
We are back here at Snider High School. Snider getting ready to take on Warsaw, and this Warsaw team is coached by longtime head coach Lenny Krebs. He's in his 4th year with Snider. However, he coached 14 years before that at Goshen High School, had a very successful career there, including an 18-5 season in 2016. That was just 2 years before he took over at Warsaw. The Tigers have put winning seasons together ever since Coach Krebs took over, 15-9 both in 2018 and 2019. And then last year, the Tigers went 16-8 overall. They are off to a 5-2 start to the season. In my conversations recently with Coach Krebs, talked about some of the keys to their success so far. They've been taking care of the basketball and been disciplined both offensively and defensively. Coach Krebs did mention that they've played pretty solid on the defensive side, except, they played pretty solid and competed hard most of the season, except for the Penn game, which was, I believe, one of their losses this season. But for the most part, this team has had a good season. 5-2 to start the year is Warsaw. Their leading scorer is Abby Sanner. She averages just over 11 points per game. She's the only player who's averaging double figures on the team so far. Of course, Lenny Krebs also gets the pleasure of coaching his own daughter, Casey Krebs, who is committed to University of Indianapolis. 2 of his other players have committed to college. Kenzie Ryman, a sophomore, has committed to Grace University. Ryman, a senior, and Kendall Wayne, also a senior. Ryman has committed to Grace. Kendall Wayne has committed to Taylor University. So that's 3 of his players that at least at this point, know where they're going to be playing college basketball in the future, in a couple of years to come. Ryman and Wayne, of course, will be graduating this year. Casey Krebs will be graduating next year. We'll be right back after this. We got about 8 minutes left before we get started. This game was originally supposed to get started at 6:30. But it looks like it'll get started a little closer to 6:35. You're watching high school basketball here on SummitCitySports.com.
Excited about the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location with people that know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in.
We are here at Snider High School. Snider getting ready to take on Warsaw. Snider comes in at 3-1 on the season. Warsaw, they come in at 5-2 on the season. No doubt should be a great matchup. The game right before this one was a blowout, a victory for Warsaw over Snider. We'll see what happens during this game. Of course, Snider happens to be the alma mater of Tiffany Gooden, the Tiffany Gooden Award named after her. She was Miss Basketball in the state of Indiana in 1994, and of course that award has been given out ever since 1994. She was the first recipient of the Tiffany Gooden Award. This past year it went to Homestead's Sydney Graber. Sydney Graber, of course, committed to Central Michigan back in 2019. I believe it was still during the 2019 portion of the last school year. As we are about 5 minutes away from tip-off here at Snider High School, ready to get you ready to get you a word from our sponsors that allow us to come out and do these games that we get to do here on SummitCitySports.com. Today's broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260Sports, like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Kelly Automotive Group is Indiana's #1 automotive group with over 1,000 new vehicles and 500 pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Please visit drivekelly.com. Simple, transparent, and reliable. Tom Steele Tire has been servicing the Fort Wayne area for over 40 years. They will help you find the perfect tire for your vehicle and other auto repair services, including brakes, wheel alignments, engine diagnostics, and more. Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Like their Facebook pages for updated promotions and enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. You're invited to join ProFed Credit Union, where we get to know you to better serve you. Sign up online in 5 minutes or stop by a branch. Join ProFed today and start owning your financial future at profedcu.org. At Ottenweller Contracting, we invest in our customers by providing peace of mind during the entire process from bid to build. Visit OttenwellerContracting.com for more information. Summit Volleyball trains and builds the highest quality volleyball players in the area. From ages 5 to 18, our players are equipped with elite-level skills and a foundation of life skills. Jump on board. Together we can reach the summit. Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning is dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business, a system and solution that fits your unique needs. Visit AndersonCoolHeat.com. El Azteca Mexican Restaurant has been a Fort Wayne favorite since 1973. El Azteca Mexican recipes are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Visit elaztecarestaurant.com for more information. iCryo specializes in whole-body cryotherapy, body sculpting, cryofacials, infrared sauna, and compression therapy services. Check out Jalen Smith's signature location on Coliseum Boulevard by Blaze Pizza in Fort Wayne. Parkview Sports Medicine continues to lead the way in Northeast Indiana. Our specialized sports medicine team offers direct access to physical therapy and sports physicians in the new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic located at the Sport 1 Parkview Fieldhouse. No referral is needed, saving you both time and money. Visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com to learn more. Are you looking to develop your basketball skills? Adults, are you out there with a kid who hopes to develop their basketball skills? Well, then check out the Holiday Hoops Basketball Development Camp hosted by Always 100 Basketball. They'll work on shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense, and that goes from December 28th through Thursday, December 31st, New Year's Eve, of course. Morning sessions go 9 to 11 a.m., evening sessions go 4 to 6 p.m. To register, go to always100basketball.com, and for our questions, you can contact Always 100 at 260-446-3251. Getting closer and closer to our tip-off. We'll have the starting lineups for you in just a moment. Back after this on SummitCitySports.com.
I choose to do whole-body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
Well, it's time to check out our starting lineups. Kenzie Ryman, Kendall Wayne, Audrey Grimm, Abby Sanner, and Casey Krebs are the starters for Warsaw. For Snider, Janae Donahue, Destiny Craig, Destiny Jackson, Jordan Poole, and Tina Finezzi are the starting lineups. It looks like we're about to have the national anthem. Nope, going to have the starting lineups announced first.
And now the center starting lineup. Freshman number 2, Indiana Donahue. Freshman number 3, Destiny Craig. Senior number 4, Destiny Jackson. Freshman number 22, Jordan Poole. And freshman number 23, Tia Beneezy. And coached by Keela Sims. Please rise to the podium of the national anthem.
And with that, it looks like we are just about ready to get started here at Snider High School. Snider trying to bounce back after suffering their first loss of the season last night against Southside. Southside won again today against South Bend, Washington. That's a good Southside team, no doubt about it. Juanita Goodwell has been coaching there for a long time. This is her 11th year as the head coach. And she's got plenty of talent this year, even with J.C. Jones having graduated. Lamaya Woodson, a great rebounder, great scorer as well, great second chance scorer. We got to witness that in Southside's game against Northridge earlier this season, and the tip is won by Destiny Jackson. They try to feed it inside. The pass is tipped and stolen away. And actually Bailey Stevens getting the start tonight. There's a pull-up three banked home by Kenzie Ryman. And right off the bat, we got an open bank on a Saturday night. And back down the floor come the Tigers, leading 3-0 already. Trying to duplicate what the JV team did here just before this game got started. They blew out the Panthers, held them to just 15 points. I think the score was 21-2 at halftime. Stevens feeds it to the top of the key to Ryman. I mentioned Ryman. She is committed to Grace University over in Winona Lake. Krebs with a feed inside, loose ball, battle for the rebound, but kicked right back out to Audrey Grimm. They go back inside to Grimm, puts it in with the left hand. Audrey Grimm with her first points of the game. We'll see if Snider can find the answer. It's a team that won their first 3 games of the season. I think they were down by double digits against Southside. Came back and made it even closer. Nice move by Poole, and she finishes. Jordan Poole with the little sidestep, and Snider's on the board. Wayne feeds it over. A 3-ball by Krebs is good. Casey Krebs, the coach's daughter, able to knock down the 3-ball. Now she's committed to University of Indianapolis, U-Indy as it's known. A little shot fake by Craig. Poole from the corner, that's an air ball. Offensive board, and the putback is good. Tia Finizzi. And Snider pulls within 4. Warsaw has yet to have an empty possession just yet, but there they have one. That was Audrey Grimm who couldn't connect on the shot. Good job by Craig to get in front of that ball. Her shot a little too strong. Rebound ripped away, put back no good. Finizzi had the rebound initially. It's out of bounds. Last touch by the Panthers. And the Tigers will take over. There's Akilah Sims telling Destiny Jackson to run the floor, as you probably just heard. The feed inside. They get it to Ryman. Loose ball out of bounds. Snider takes over. A little sidestep by Craig, and she feeds it over to Poole. Jordan Poole, a freshman point guard. She's going to pull up from downtown and could not hit the three. Crashing in for the rebound was Kendall Wayne. Wayne spins inside. Tough shot off glass. That's no good. But an offensive rebound by Wayne, and that's stolen away. Destiny Craig back down the floor. She loses it on the way in. And a foul, I think it's on Warsaw. We'll see which player they get. They get Casey Krebs, number 35, for the foul. That's the first foul of the game on either team. We've got 4:28 to go in this first quarter, with Warsaw leading Snider 8-4. High inbound to Poole. She swings it across court for Craig. Her three wouldn't go, and the rebound pulled down by Abby Sanner. That's Sanner's first touch of the game. Now it came on a defensive rebound. We'll see if she gets a touch on the offensive side here. She is the leading scorer. Oh, wide open was Kendall Wayne. Craig fell down. The shot was missed. Sanner's putback is good. Abby Sanner on the board for the first time. Donahue just able to keep control of the ball. She finds Craig. Poole tries to feed it inside to Jackson. Donahue along the baseline hits the floater. Janae Donahue on the board for the first time in this game. Snider right within the thick of things against this Warsaw team, this 5-2 Warsaw team. It's had 3 straight winning seasons since Lenny Krebs took over as the head coach. Sanner hits the jumper. Well, until the last possession, Sanner had not had a touch on the offensive side. She's got the last 4 points for the Tigers. It was only a matter of time before she got going. Pass is tipped and taken over by Craig. Donahue, the spin move, and she walked. Looks like Nakai Boone and Jaden Eastham have checked into the game for Snider. This would be a big win regardless of who comes out on top. I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Snider comes in at 3-1. No doubt an improved team off of last year's 5-win season. Warsaw 5-2 coming in, coming off 3 straight winning seasons under head coach Lenny Krebs. So obviously there's something to be valued for whoever wins this game. Little step back 3 by Krebs is good. Casey Krebs with her second 3 of the game. Tough shot by Craig, and that's no good. It's recovered along the baseline by Stevens. It looked at first like everybody thought that it would have gone out on Snider. Stevens somehow kept her dribble, and Ryman hits the 3. A timeout called by Snider as Warsaw has jumped out to a 12-point lead. Well, a good chance to show you what just happened here on our latest Traction AP replay. Good job there by Bailey Stevens to keep her dribble. And then Ryman able to knock down the 3 ball to make it 18-6 in favor of the Warsaw Tigers. A good start, no doubt, for Warsaw. We'll be right back after this 30-second break here on SummitCitySports.com.
Empowered Sports Club, Fort Wayne's premier multi-sport facility and home to Empowered Volleyball Academy. With the deepest and most experienced coaching staff in the region, we've had a 100% college recruiting success rate for the last 6 years. Be sure to register for upcoming tryouts at our regular location and our new satellite program, Empowered OVC. If you're looking for a place where you can not only play volleyball, but call home, look no further than Empowered.
(18-6), Warsaw leading Snider here in Fort Wayne. Of course, if you're watching from out of state, Warsaw, Indiana is down Highway 30 west of here. In fact, if you live in Fort Wayne, you'll probably go through Columbia City on your way to get there. It's on the way to South Bend, but not quite there yet. As Poole briefly gets around the screen, and that's going to be called traveling. I tell you what, usually these days when you take 2 steps toward the basket and take your shot, they don't always call it, but that time they did. Inbound to Krebs, little pressure by Snider. They back off of it. See if they go man or zone here. Looks like they're going man. A drive to the basket by Krebs, and she turns it over. Destiny Craig comes the other way. 1-on-1 to the glass, and Craig is fouled. She'll go to the line. They call the foul on Kenzie Ryman, so Destiny Craig will go to the free throw line. She's a freshman, and she's, I believe, the leading scorer for Snider this year, as she was unable to hit the first one. And yes, Craig is the leading scorer. 15.3 points per game is what she has averaged. Scored 20 points against Bishop Dwenger, 18 against Heritage. But she goes 0 for 2 from the free throw line here. Jackson's going to get the board. Back up top to Craig. And she exchanges another pass with Jackson. Back to Craig. Warsaw looks like they're in the 3-2. Poole fires from downtown, but too strong on the 3. Ryman with the rebound. Ryman looking for the blow-by, has it, blocked by Poole. Poole coming back the other way, stops and pops, couldn't connect. Ryman grabs the board. We're inside the final minute of the first quarter. 18-6, Warsaw leading Snider. Ryman down the baseline, left it short, and Jackson has the board. Poole trying to get it inside to Boone, and it's out of bounds. Warsaw basketball. Well, speaking of Warsaw, some of our Summit City Sports crew was there earlier this season for some AAU basketball. We had an Always 100 camp over there that we covered bright and early on a Sunday. Oh, nice hustle there by Craig. And Jordan Poole with the jumper, no good. Rebound pulled down by Stevens. Down to 40 seconds to go. I was about to mention that Lenny Krebs was there for many of those games that we got to cover at the AAU level during the offseason. Lenny Krebs helped us to get our Wi-Fi connection going, gave us the Wi-Fi information that we needed. This ball's out of bounds, Snider basketball. 20.1 to go in the first quarter. And even though Snider is down 12, they've got a chance to hold for the final shot of the quarter and close this deficit just a little bit. Poole around the screen. They get it to Donahue. Down to 6 on the clock. And a foul is called on Snider. An offensive foul, perhaps a moving screen. They call it on Tia Finisi. And with 2 seconds to go, Warsaw gets the ball back. The lob up the court, and that's going to go out of bounds. Nobody touched it. So Snider's going to take over with still 2 on the clock. And they're going to bring it back to where it was initially inbounded since nobody touched the ball. They get it in. Poole's got to get it off. She does, but could not finish. I checked that. That was Donahue, number 2 along the baseline, not number 22. But we have reached the end of the first quarter. Warsaw with the 18-6 lead. Back after this on SummitCitySports.com.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Well, Snider back at it after last night's loss at Southside. They were down by double digits at one point, I believe, in that game. Ended up losing by just 4. So a nice job to get back in the game. Unfortunately for the Panthers, it does go as their first loss of the season. It's a loss against a very good Southside team. Juanita Goodwell has been coaching over there for 11 years, had a lot of success. He served there as an assistant coach before taking over as the head coach. Led Southside to semi-state during her career. A high pass just barely caught by Ryman. Southside was a winner again today against South Bend, Washington. Snider was one of a couple of teams that had to get right back at it after playing last night. Carroll had a double overtime win over Homestead last night. They defeated Northridge in the game that we had here on Summit City Sports earlier this afternoon. Krebs looking down low, a shot fake, gets it inside to Sanner, falling away, and Sanner couldn't hit it. Down the baseline goes Donahue and finds Poole out at the top of the key. Warsaw is in the zone. Poole going to fire from downtown. It's short. Battle for the rebound. Craig goes to a knee to get it. Had to fling it away. Check that. That was Donahue. I believe Destiny Craig is on the floor, but that was Janae Donahue who went after that loose ball. Krebs, one-on-one against Jackson. Help side comes, and there's a foul. Well, Coach Sims not happy about that call, but it's going to send Krebs to the line. Foul was called on Destiny Jackson. It's her first, third team foul against the Panthers. And Krebs unable to connect on that first free throw. We are 54 seconds into this second quarter. Nobody has scored in the quarter just yet. That, of course, could change. It does not on this possession, and that's over and back on Sanner. And they're going to call a lane violation. They said 23. That would be Tia Finizzi. And now a timeout has been called. I believe it's been called by Warsaw. We'll take one along with them on Summit City Sports.
There are tons of benefits to using compression therapy, but my favorite are speeding up muscle recovery, reducing swelling and inflammation, and improving my athletic performance.
We are back here in the second quarter. 7:05 to go in the second quarter. Warsaw leads Snider 18-6, and because of a lane violation, Casey Krebs is going to get one more free throw. She is the daughter of head coach Lenny Krebs, and she makes this one. That's 7 points for Krebs. She leads the Tigers in scoring tonight. And that, by the way, was the first made basket of this second quarter. They get it out to Craig. She's got Jackson posting up down low. Now she's got Finizzi down low. And here's Poole up at the top of the key. Warsaw is in the zone defense. Donahue for three, and that's off the mark. Loose ball on the deck. Who's got it? Warsaw does. They get it up the floor for Grimm. Audrey Grimm, a run out, and the basket is good. Audrey Grimm with her second made basket of the night, and Warsaw leads it by 15. The JV team defeated Snider in the game just before this one. They held Snider to 2 points in the first half. A fake pass there. Good defense by Donahue. Right now, Snider's in the man-to-man. Akila Sims did say that defensively she wanted these girls to be aggressive, which can be done in man-to-man, it can be done in zone, it can be done in full-court pressure. So far, we're seeing a lot of man-to-man from the Snider Panthers. They're down 15 with 5:36 to go. A lot of proud athletic programs here at Snider. Of course, the high school football team just last year celebrated 55 years of high school football. They've won 2 state championships. The wrestling team had a pretty good season a year ago. And, of course, the boys basketball team won a sectional championship. A little backdoor cut by Bailey Stevens. Couldn't get it to go. That's knocked out of bounds. Snider takes over. There's a pull-up three on the other end. That's no good, and the rebound is grabbed by Stevens with 5 minutes to go. Sanner has it poked away, and a foul is called right after the steal. Finizzi got the takeaway. Jordan Poole will bring this one across the timeline. She gets it inside to Finizzi, and a foul is called, and she'll go to the line. Snider has yet to score here in this second quarter. And Finizzi's free throw is good, so now they are on the board here in the quarter. First points scored this quarter were at the free throw line. And Finizzi goes 2 for 2. Looks like man-to-man defense again as Jordan Poole picks up the ball handler, Ryman. Poole staying on her the whole way. That's a near steal by Finizzi. Finally gets the pass away, and it's almost stolen. Good defense there by Jaden Eastham. Ball out of bounds. Warsaw keeps it. And this will be Ryman coming back across the timeline. Poole remains on her. Ryman on the drive. The kick out. They feed it inside. Left-hand shot, no good. Poole has the rebound. Poole sends it up the floor. Who was that touched last by? They're going to say off of Stevens. And the Panthers will take over. This is Jordan Poole. Feeds it back over to Craig. Looks like a 3-2 zone this time for the Tigers. Eastham Swings it back over to Poole. They've got Jackson in the middle of that zone. Craig on the drive, uses the glass, gets her own rebound. Putback won't go. Sander grabs the rebound. Again, Snider looking for a bounce-back victory after last night's loss to Southside, their first loss of the season. A kick to the corner. Ryman from downtown, and she hits it. There are a number of improving girls basketball programs here in the area. This Snider team certainly off to a good start under first-year head coach Akila Sims. That's a near takeaway, and now it is a takeaway. Kendall Wayne gets the steal. And one of the other improving girls basketball programs in the area is Blackhawk Christian. Stephanie Gongaware, a winning season last year, her second season. The basket will count. Abby Sander. Speaking of Stephanie Gongaware, her Blackhawk Christian Braves have only lost once this year. Blackhawk Christian, of course, known for the success of their boys basketball team, a team that won state 2 years ago and has a lot of great talent back from that state championship team. They're already off to a great start. The Blackhawk boys are 2-0, but the Blackhawk Christian girls, only one loss all season. I believe they're 8-1 on the season. And Sander could not hit the free throw. Battle for the loose ball. And stepping out of bounds that time was Wayne. And the Panthers take over with 2:56 to go. And, of course, Kevin Clopton is in his first year as the head coach at Northrop. Now, if you're a Snider fan, you probably don't like hearing much about Northrop. Now, Northrop got a great start to the season with the win against Leo. That was a blowout victory, but had some tough games lately. Got blown out by Carroll earlier this week. Also went on the road and got beat by Concordia. Concordia is having a great season this year. A sidestep by Kendall Wayne. She's guarded by Craig. Now, Concordia, they're not under a first-year head coach. They've been a really good team for a long time. Dave Miller, the head coach over there, he's won 2 state championships. They have yet to play this Snider team. I believe Snider is scheduled to go to Concordia this year. Yeah, Concordia came here last year. The Concordia girls won, but the Snider boys beat Concordia. That was part of a doubleheader. A little shot fake here by Casey Krebs, and we are inside the final 2 minutes of this first half. Stevens back outside to Krebs. Krebs with a spin move, had it blocked, and they get it up the floor looking for Craig. Can she finish? No, but she's fouled, and she'll go to the line. And it's a good thing that they've got that padding back there. Craig didn't have to worry about running into a cement brick wall. No doubt that would have been painful, and obviously, as you can see, she is okay. 2 free throws coming up for Destiny Craig. And she gets the first. All of Snider's points here in this second quarter have come from the free throw line. Craig, she's a freshman, but she's having a great season. She's averaged over 15 points per game. She is the Panthers' leading scorer. Second free throw rims out, but there's Jackson for the board, and she finds Craig for the bucket. From one Destiny to another. Destiny Jackson to Destiny Craig. It's a 15-point game. Loose ball, eventually recovered into the backcourt. They're going to say that was touched by Snider, so it's a live ball. Ryman with Donahue on her. She feeds it out to Wayne. Coming up on a minute to play. That shot off the glass. Ryman had a good look. Jackson comes up with a loose ball. Here comes Poole down the floor. Poole with a pull-up jumper comes up short. And the rebound off her hands and into the hands of Wayne. The lob inside. Grimm couldn't get it to go. Poole gets down the floor. A little Euro step, couldn't finish. Jackson couldn't finish, battling for the rebound, and it's boarded by Lauren Gross. Those back-to-back scoring opportunities in transition for the Panthers, and they could not cash in. This game would look a lot closer if they had. Are they going to get the ball here? I think they did get it, and Akilah Sims gets the timeout. A heads-up play from the sideline by Akilah Sims, and the Panthers are going to have the ball with 27.1 seconds to go here in this first half. The Snider team got off to a great start to the season, won their first 3 games. Now this is their first home game of the season. All 4 of their games so far have been on the road. So now they get to open in front of, well, not necessarily the home crowd, more like the home JV team and event staff. Obviously in COVID-19, so many schools not allowing fans, and that is the case with Fort Wayne Community Schools, which Snider is a part of. I was at Carroll earlier today. They're part of the Northwest Allen County School District. They're not allowing fans. They have a big arena. And my guess is on a normal night, the bleachers behind me would probably be pushed back. Inside to Jackson. The floater is no good. Ball goes out of bounds. Snider keeps it with 11.4 on the clock. Nakai Boone to put it in play for the Panthers. As they get the play set. Up top to Poole. She regathers it. Poole on the drive. Kicks it back out. Drive to the basket by Craig, and it's good. And that's going to close out the first half. Destiny Craig beats the buzzer, but it's Warsaw who has the double-digit lead. They've led by as many as 18 tonight, and we are at halftime here at Snider High School. We will be right back after this break. You're watching high school basketball on Summit City Sports. Warsaw leads Snider 26-13.
We have to do this. A bit of a hill.
His mother said, if you're coming to school, you got to bring your sister because they have to go and work in the fields. So this kid carries his 1-year-old sister everywhere. A lot of those kids don't eat in the morning. A lot of those kids, the only place they do eat is at that school.
I thought going up that mountain, Mary's meals can reach everywhere that there's a hungry child.
Do you see what happens after a simple meal? It just came to life.
Love reaches everywhere.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walk-in clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Keep it 100. Keep it 100.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
We are at halftime. Warsaw with a 26-13 lead over Snider at the half. Snider playing their home opener, but they got a tall hill to climb rather if they want to come back and win this game. I'll tell you, one player who's had a great game tonight has been Kenzie Ryman. We'll go ahead and show you one of her highlights on the Traction AP replay. This was early in the ball game. Warsaw is able to get the steal. That's Bailey Stevens who gets a hand on the ball, and up the floor she finds Ryman for a transition 3, a little bank shot. Finding an open bank on a Saturday night. And Warsaw had the early lead at that point. They've had the lead all the way through this game. There's not been a single point at which they have trailed. Not long after that, a good job here by Stevens. Looked like she kept her dribble there. And the 3 ball was good that time by Ryman again. And Ryman, she's hit 3 threes in this game. She is the leading scorer for Warsaw with 9 points. Not far behind her is Casey Krebs. She scored 7. Abby Sanner with 6. Audrey Grimm with 4. On the Snider side, one player who's had a really good game so far, or a fairly good game, I should say, is Destiny Craig. She was at the free throw line on this possession as we show you the Traction AP replay. Destiny Jackson there with a good box out, and Craig is the beneficiary of it. Great play by both Jackson and Craig as Craig gets the bucket, Jackson the board, and Craig has 5 points to lead all Snider scorers. Tia Finizzi has 4. Janae Donahue and Jordan Poole each have 2 apiece. Warsaw has played a lot of zone defense, and when Snider's been able to get the ball around the basket, a lot of the shots have been contested. Warsaw doing a great job on the defensive end. They've been able to get out and run in transition, create opportunities for themselves. Snider did not score till, I believe it was just over 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. That was their first points of the second quarter, that is. Didn't take as much time to score in the first quarter, however. 26-13, Warsaw with the lead. We've got about 2.5 minutes to go before we start the second half. While we have a chance, we'll get in a word from our sponsors that allow us to come out and do these games that we get to do on SummitCitySports.com. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. We serve every level of athlete with our integrated sports medicine team, including the region's only specialized athletic rehab facility. Learn more about our services by logging on to ParkviewSportsMedicine.com. 26-13, Warsaw leads it. Getting close to the start of one of our other games on Summit City Sports, East Noble versus New Haven. But right here, it's Warsaw leading 26-13. Back after this on SummitCitySports.com.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
Getting close to the start of the second half. We'll get in one more word from our sponsors before we go any further. Parkview Sports Medicine is the area's largest integrated sports medicine team, specialized in serving every level of athlete, no matter if they're trying to get better at what they do or recovering from an injury. Our experts coordinate your care in state-of-the-art facilities in our community. To start your journey, visit us at ParkviewSportsMedicine.com. Warsaw 5-2 coming into this game. Snider 3-1 coming into this game. And again, Snider has played 4 games so far, all of them on the road. Actually had a game against Heritage that was postponed. That was also on the road. In fact, the Heritage boys were supposed to play Leo last night. And guess who it was that ended up playing the Lions instead? It was the Snider Panthers. The Snider boys team went on the road to Leo and put together a good showing. Unfortunately, they were not able to get the win. Leo's big men, Zach Troyer and DJ Allen, proved to be too much when all was said and done. Snider starts this second half with the basketball. Here's Jordan Poole feeding it over to Donahue. They swing it out to the corner. The feed inside for Jackson. Poked from behind. That was Sander who caused the loose ball. It's a jump ball, and it will go to Warsaw. Casey Krebs will put it in play. A baseball pass up the floor. Donahue got turned around, but Ryman couldn't finish. And Poole grabs the rebound. She makes a long pass to Craig, who scores in transition. Destiny Craig with 7 points. She leads all Snider scorers, and the Panthers get the first points of the half. The lob inside, and that's over the back, called on Finisi. Certainly looked like the arm went over the back, so they do call it. And it'll be Ryman to put it in play. 7:23 to go in the third quarter. High lob tipped away from Sander, but she's somehow able to get it to Ryman. Krebs on the drive. Pull-up jumper, too strong. And the rebound comes to Wayne. Sander on the interior, puts it home. After a long possession, the Tigers are able to cash in, and the Panthers turn it over. Inbound goes to Kenzie Ryman. Trying to get it across the timeline, and she was fouled by Donahue. I mentioned that New Haven game coming up in a matter of moments against East Noble. Boys basketball, New Haven was here. Dylan Duff scored his 1,000th career point. That was on the boys' side. This girl team has no doubt gotten off to a great start. They get a turnover here. I mentioned Snider comes into this game at 3-1, but recently lost to Southside. That was last night. The feed to Donahue. A step-back three, no good. Tapped around, and the offensive rebound comes out to Craig. They've got Jackson posting up down low. Craig going to fire a three. That's short. Snider has not hit a three in this game at any point. Ryman trying to beat the pack. Blocked at the rim. Offensive rebound, though, comes to Grimm. Loose ball. Poole recovers it. She gets it up the floor to Craig. She scores. Destiny Craig, another transition bucket for the Panthers. Destiny Craig has 9 points to lead all Snider scores. Inside to Sanner. She puts it home. Abby Sanner able to answer. Donahue looks down low. Here's Poole. They swing it over back to Craig. Craig with a tough shot. That's an air ball. And the rebound is snagged by Krebs. Haven't gotten it across the timeline yet. Now they do. The lob inside to Sanner. A shot fake. And Sanner puts it home. Heck of a move by Abby Sanner to get the shot off. And Sanner now has 12 points to lead all Tiger scorers. Poole, a pull-up three. No good. Sanner had the rebound, and then it's recovered by Ryman. Grimm feeds it inside off the backdoor cut, but Ryman lost it. So Snider takes over, down 15. They've trailed by as many as 18. There hasn't been a whole lot of three-point shooting in this game. Unless you're Warsaw, Casey Krebs and Kenzie Ryman have combined for 5 triples. Pass almost gets tipped. Craig gathers it and gets fouled by Sanner, but a good show of sportsmanship there. Sanner helps Craig to her feet. That is the 3rd foul against Sanner. That sends Craig to the free throw line. Oh, couldn't get the roll. Look, she tried to lean in. You know, sometimes you do that as a shooter thinking you might be helping it go in, even though the lean in doesn't really help anything. It's tipped around by Finese. Stevens comes up with a loose ball. Ryman across the timeline. And a timeout is called by Lenny Krebs. Going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll take a timeout right along with them here on SummitCitySports.com.
There are tons of benefits to using compression therapy, but my favorite are speeding up muscle recovery, reducing swelling and inflammation, and improving my athletic performance.
Back here at Kilmer Court on the campus of Snider High School, the visiting Warsaw Tigers have the 32-17 lead over the homestanding Panthers of Snider. And Warsaw has the ball after a timeout. They lead it by 15. They've led by as many as 18. and that's a 5-second violation on Krebs. I got to say, the first time I ever came in here last year was for the Snider girls basketball game against Canterbury. Panthers won that one running away. It was the first time I ever got to see this gym in person. It is a nice-looking gym, I tell you what. There's a few nice-looking gyms here in Fort Wayne and surrounding towns. New Haven's got a nice gym. Carroll's got a nice gym. I was there this afternoon. As Jordan Poole drains a three. First triple of the game for the Panthers. As Poole, the freshman, knocks it down. Loose ball after the near turnover. Blocked on the inside by Jackson. Touched last by the Panthers. Seen some of our games that we've broadcast at Northrop High School, and they seem to have a nice-looking gym. Seems to have been redone since last year. Not sure how long ago this was the case, but I believe Kilmer Court was also redone and renovated. Loose ball stolen away. That's Donahue. She just got a hand on the shot or on the pass and then took it away right away. The foul's going to be called before the shot. They call the foul on Kenzie Ryman. It's the second team foul against the Tigers. Jackson feeds it back outside to Poole. Jackson for three, or rather Craig, and she knocks it down. And all of a sudden, it's a single-digit game. Destiny Craig with her first triple of the game. 32-23 after Snider's been down by as many as 18, and they get the turnover. Here comes Craig on the run-out. 2 on 3, no good. Tippin comes up short. Poole with the rebound, and she scores. Jordan Poole somehow got that to go, and she's going to be called for the foul here. Poole with 7 points in the game, but she does commit her second foul of the game. Grimm gets it in play, knocked out of bounds by Donahue. Defense leading to offense for the Panthers. That was certainly the case on that last possession, as we've got 2:47 to go here in the third quarter. Poole able to stay with Ryman the whole way. The ball gets loose. It's off of Ryman. Snider will take over, and they've got a chance to make this a two-possession game. They were down by 18 earlier this evening, and Jackson wasn't ready for the pass. Akilah Sims, not surprisingly, frustrated with that one, and there's a foul on the other end. That's going to be on Craig. That's only her first with 2:33 to go here in this third quarter. Lenny Krebs trying to make sure his girls are set in the right place. Ryman gets it in play to Krebs. They go inside to Sanner, and she walked. Snider has made it a ball game, down 2.5 against Warsaw. Should say 2.5 left in the third quarter against Warsaw. They're down 7. You're never down 2.5 points in basketball. Around the screen from Jackson. Go back up top to Craig. Poole goes the other way. Draws traffic, and she traveled. And the Tigers will take over with 2:03 to go. 32-25, the score in Warsaw's favor. The Tigers had led, and that's a timeout called by Lenny Krebs. It's a full timeout. Well, we'll take a timeout while they take one here on SummitCitySports.com.
There are tons of benefits to using compression therapy, but my favorite are speeding up muscle recovery, reducing swelling and inflammation, and improving my athletic performance.
Well, while we have a moment, we'll go ahead and take a look at one of our latest replays brought to you by Traction Athletic Performance. This was a possession not long ago, as Snider's able to get the turnover. Destiny Craig with the run out. Several putback attempts. Jordan Poole gets the final putback, and she puts it home. That made this 32-25 score possible that we have right now. Snider was down by as many as 18 points, but they have made it a 7-point ball game here in the third. And the Snider JV team was held to just 2 points in the first half, in the game just before this one, but the varsity team starting to make it a ball game. That shot no good. Offensive board by Wayne. Back outside to Krebs. Baseline drive by Wayne. Feeds it over to Grimm, and she puts it home. Much needed bucket for the Tigers. And Grimm has 6 points in the game. 1:36 and counting to go. That's Poole from downtown. Her shot no good, and a foul on the rebound, and Donahue went hard to the deck. Thankfully, she's able to get up. And it will be Snider basketball. And it looks like the Snider bench has been given a warning. We got 1:32 left. Inbound to Poole. She finds Jackson. Jackson off the mark. Gets her own rebound. Fights through it. Back out to Poole. Tough catch by Destiny Craig. Craig going to fire from downtown. That's off the mark. Poole chases down the long rebound. She'll fire from three. No good. Out of bounds. Warsaw basketball. Jordan Poole is the only Snider player to hit a three in this game. Check that. She and Destiny Craig have actually hit a three. Each one has. Ball goes into Stevens. Stevens with Poole on her. Poole has played great man-to-man defense today. And that's a foul on the three. The shot will count. Kendall Wayne from downtown. And a +1 chance on the three ball. And all of a sudden, the Tigers have a double-digit lead once again. The Panthers cut their once 18-point lead all the way down to 7, but now the Tigers are up 12. And it'll stay that way on the missed free throw. The rebound to Destiny Jackson. Jackson comes to set the screen for Poole. Cross-court pass for Donahue. She uses the baseline, dribbling through traffic, no good. Donahue gets her own rebound. Back out to Craig. Tip ball. Out of bounds, Snider keeps it. 34.2 to go here in this third quarter. Last 5 points have been scored by the Tigers, as Lauren Gross comes into the game. Craig, a high inbound, tough catch by Poole. Inside to Jackson, she gets fouled. Count the basket. Destiny Jackson, who earlier this year signed to Chicago Loyola. And she's got a chance for a three-point play. Jackson was a double-digit scorer each of the last 2 years at Northrop. She'll be finishing her high school career here at Snider. Interesting story about Jackson. She was originally committed to go to San Jose State, but eventually changed her mind and decided to go to Loyola Chicago instead. That jumper no good from Kendall Wayne. Loose ball thrown into no man's land and scooped up by Ryman. Tough shot off the glass. It's good. That was Audrey Grimm with the bucket. That shot at the buzzer would not go. And it's 39-28 as we close out the third quarter. The Warsaw Tigers lead the Snider Panthers 39 to 28. Back after this break on SummitCitySports.com. Welcome back, everybody. We are starting the fourth quarter here at Snider High School. A 39-28 lead for the Warsaw Tigers over the homestanding Snider Panthers. At Kilmer Court, which, if I'm not mistaken, has been renovated in recent years. I don't know how long ago that was the case. I do know that Northrop's basketball court was renovated this year just based on watching some of our broadcasts that some of our other Summit City Sports crews have done over at that arena. Definitely looks a lot different than the two times I was there a year ago. But I tell you what, Kilmer Court here, no doubt one of the nicest looking courts in the area. That three is an air ball. Casey Krebs with a rebound. Snider going after the turnover. Is that going to be a jump ball? It is. Possession arrow will give it to the Tigers. Warsaw had an 18-point lead earlier in this game. Snider cut that down to 7. As Snider tries to get their home opener, tries to win their home opener. They've played 4 games already, all of them on the road, including one last night against Southside. Donahue could not save it. She came oh so close to snagging that ball before it went out of bounds. Inbound to Ryman. They just barely get it to Grimm. Pass is tipped and taken away. Nakai Boone with the steal, and here comes Craig the other way. She finishes. Nice little floater by Destiny Craig. Craig has 14 points to lead all scorers. Snider has the press on. Ryman beats it across the timeline. And Krebs is open. She'll fire a three. It's good. Casey Krebs, her first three since the first half. However, she has hit 3 triples in this game. We're just about a minute into the quarter. Jackson for 3. Got it! Destiny Jackson answers from downtown. That's her first 3 of the game, by the way. Across the timeline comes Krebs. The double team comes, and Lenny Krebs, Casey Krebs' father, and also the head coach at Warsaw, will call the full timeout. Well, they take a timeout. We'll take one as well here on SummitCitySports.com. 42-33, Warsaw leads Snider as Casey Krebs gets set to inbound the basketball. Took a long time to get it in. Donahue knocks it away, but she's the one who knocked it out. I believe that last time out by Krebs left him with just one more. Looking to get it in is Krebs, and that's a 5-second call. And Lenny Krebs was upset with Kenzie Ryman there. I don't think she cut the way she was supposed to. And if Lenny Krebs had used the timeout there, I believe that would have been his last. Ryman will check out of the game. Kendall Wayne comes in. The feed over to Donahue. Long pass to Craig. She fires a three. It's good. It's a 6-point game here at Snider. Big-time three by Destiny Craig. That's her second three of the game. Poole with great defense. Good help side there by Donahue, too. Stevens backs it up. Gets away from Donahue. That was nearly taken away. It probably would have been had Stevens initially made the pass. Grimm recovers that ball. Krebs looking to go baseline. Craig on her the whole way. Krebs couldn't finish. Jackson grabs the board. The outlet to Donahue, and she scores! And all of a sudden, it's a 4-point game. Snider was down by 18. They have cut it down to 4 here in the fourth quarter. Stevens back down the floor, and she finishes. Bailey Stevens on the board for the first time. Falling to the floor is Donahue. They don't call traveling, but Warsaw forces the turnover anyway. Stevens down the floor. Pull-up jumper, got it. Smooth stroke by Stevens. Back-to-back buckets for Bailey Stevens. And it's back to an 8-point lead as Snider had cut it down to 4. But all of a sudden, Warsaw stretching the lead back out. Craig will long on that three. Now Poole will fire a long one. That's no good. Snider had cut the deficit down to 7 in the third quarter. But Warsaw got that back to a double-digit lead. They led by as many as 12 after that. Here's a three ball by Wayne, and that's good. 7 straight points by Warsaw. Kendall Wayne with her second three of the game. A 49-38 lead for the Tigers. Cross-court pass to Craig. They've got Boone on the inside of that zone. Craig will drive to the basket. Little hook shot wouldn't fall. Craig with a good job to stay in front of Stevens there. And a good thing she did if you're Snider, because Destiny Jackson had briefly fallen down. She's back up, though. And speaking of Destiny Jackson, she gets the rebound. Here comes Poole down the floor. The floater in the paint, got it. And a timeout called by head coach Akila Sims. As Jordan Poole now has 9 points in the game. She's one of the leading scorers, averaging 14.3 points a game. She's a freshman. Now let's get a look at one of these more recent plays. This was the play that cut the Snider deficit down to 6. Rather, down to 4. It was at 6 when Snider got the stop. Destiny Jackson gets the rebound here. An immediate pass by Destiny Craig, and Janae Donahue puts it in on the interior. That made it a 4-point game. However, Warsaw was able to answer after that point with some big buckets of their own, including a three by Kendall Wayne. That made it an 11-point game. Snider has gotten it back down to a 9-point game. We still got a lot of basketball left to be played here in this fourth quarter. Snider again trying to get their home opening victory. This is their first home game of the season. They've played 4 road games. Had a tough loss to to Southside last night. A game where they made it close after being down by double digits, but ended up losing by 4. Southside won again today at South Bend, Washington. Check that was at home against South Bend, Washington. Of course, Carroll also won today. They defeated Northridge. Full court pressure by the Panthers. Trying to get an update here on the game at New Haven. There's a lob inside. Little turnaround shot off the glass. Rebounded by Jackson. That pass is taken away by Krebs. Krebs with no numbers. She'll slow it down. Good decision there by Casey Krebs, the coach's daughter, and the U-Indy commit. They do get this one to Krebs. Down to 3 minutes to go. Wayne has Boone on her. Ryman looking inside. Warsaw draining a lot of time off the clock, which you can afford to do with this 9-point lead. Haven't been all too quick to shoot, and you really don't even have to be too quick to shoot in the state of Indiana. There's no shot clock in high school basketball in this state. In other states, they do have it. That ball's poked away and stolen by Donahue, and she's fouled. Grimm gets called for the foul. 2:13 to play. That's Grimm's first foul, and it's the 5th team foul against Warsaw. It was a very short pass to Jackson. Poole was thinking about the 3. She's hit a couple of them tonight. She's one of 3 Snider players to make a 3 in this ball game. Destiny Craig is one of them. She's got the ball right now. Destiny Jackson is the other one. She's right on the edge of the paint. Here's Craig from downtown. That's short, and a rather easy rebound for Bailey Stevens. We're inside the final 2 minutes of play here at Snider. Krebs across the timeline. Krebs down the lane, a shot fake, left-handed layup, no good. Sander couldn't put it back. Here's Craig the other way. Craig backs it out. She's got Jackson posting up. Now Jackson posting up on the other side of the paint. And here's Donahue. Swings it across court. That's way too high for Craig. I tell you what, Snider had some 6-foot-plus wing players last year. Michael Ely and Dylan Duff on their boys basketball team. I'm not sure they could have gotten that pass. That ball's knocked away. Chased down initially by Jackson, but stolen right back. That's Ryman who draws the foul. And the foul was on the shot. It's on Jackson. And that is her second. 1:04 to go as Ryman goes to the free throw line to try and make this a double-digit game once again. And she rattles home the first one. Warsaw trying to go to 6-2 on the season. Kenzie Ryman's going to have a double-digit point performance tonight. She just made it to 10 points in the game. Rattles home the second one. Now she makes it to 11. Donahue slows it down. We're inside the final minute of play. Poole with a 3 ball. It's good. That ball's nearly stolen away. Sander able to recover it. And a foul called as Ryman was able to get it up the floor. 51-43 the score. Warsaw with the lead, and they've got a chance to add to that lead with 39.7 to play. Carroll had a come-from-behind victory today against Northridge. A score one come-from-behind win for the SAC. Snider had a chance to score another, but with 39.7 to go, Warsaw with a great chance to close it out. But they missed the free throw. Sander, though, gets the board, and I believe she was fouled. They call it on Nakai Boone. And now Sander will go to the free throw line with 38.5 to go. That first free throw is good. Abby Sander with 13 points. She leads all Warsaw scorers, and she'll add to that total with 14 now. 36 seconds to go. 53-43. Here's a catch-and-shoot 3 by Poole, and that's short. Jackson comes in for the board, but has it ripped away. Abby Krebs helped to force that one. They dive to the floor. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow keeps it with Snider. Thought I heard Lenny Krebs calling a timeout from the Warsaw bench. But since it was a jump ball, he doesn't get the timeout. That would have been his last of the game. We've got 23.4 seconds to go. Inbound to Poole. She slips it into Jackson. And the reverse is good. Destiny Craig. 19 points for Craig. A great performance by her. And did they get the 5-second call? I think we have a foul. Right now the clock shows 11.8. The officials are getting together to discuss it. I thought I heard one of the officials call a foul. Wonder if we're having an issue with the clock here. Well, whatever it is, they seem to have figured it out. And we do have 11.8 seconds to go. Warsaw trying to close out a victory over the Panthers of Snider. And that's tipped into the hands of Jackson. Craig going to kick it out. Boone's shot comes up short, and Warsaw is going to win this game. Foul is called with 1.8 left on the clock. It's an 8-point lead for the Tigers. And it'll send Ryman to the free throw line. Well, Snider scrapped and clawed their way back into this thing, but in the end, it's going to be the Warsaw Tigers who win it by a final score of perhaps 53-45, but we'll see if that changes. And not on this possession. Poole from beyond half court. That's an air ball. And this game is over. The Warsaw Tigers get a 53-45 win over the Snider Panthers. The Tigers improve to 6-2 on the season. The Panthers fall to 3-2. And we'll be right back after this quick break here on SummitCitySports.com.
There are tons of benefits to using compression therapy, but my favorite are speeding up muscle recovery, reducing swelling and inflammation, and improving my athletic performance.
Well, back here at Kilmer Court on the campus of Snider High School, Warsaw beats Snider 53-45. Warsaw improves to 6-2 on the season. Snider falls to 3-2. Warsaw's next game will be against Tippecanoe Valley this coming Monday, and Snider's next game will be this coming Friday, a conference matchup against Wayne, their first conference home game of the season. Second conference game, second home game, first conference home game for the Panthers this season. Warsaw jumped out to an 18-point lead. They played a great game, especially in the first half on the defensive side, played a lot of zone defense, made things difficult for Snider, but then Snider in the second half was able to get a transition game going, and after trailing by as many as 18, cut it down to 4, but unfortunately for the Panthers, that was as close as they ever got the score. Warsaw wins it 53-45. Well, at the end of every broadcast here, we give out the Parkview Sports Medicine Player of the Game Award, and that award is going to go to Abby Sander tonight. 14 points. She was the leading scorer, had a great game on the interior. She's been the leading scorer all season long, and Abby Sander will be the Parkview Sports Medicine Player of the Game from the Warsaw Tigers. They win at 53-45. So that's going to do it from here at Kilmer Court on the campus of Snider High School. For my cameraman, Deontay Davis, this is Thad Goff saying so long. Warsaw beats Snider 53-45.
Empowered Sports Club, Fort Wayne's premier multi-sport facility and home to Empowered Volleyball Academy. With the deepest and most experienced coaching staff in the region, we have had a 100% college recruiting success rate for the last 6 years. Be sure to register for upcoming tryouts at our regular location and our new satellite program, Empowered OVC. If you're looking for a place where you can not only play volleyball but call home, look no further than Empowered.